What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Breakdown podcast. I'm Kawai, your host, and this is
David, your other co-host, I guess. I wasn't
Alright,
ready for that. I wasn't ready for that.
Today we're talking about Chapter 9, your acid brain, your acidic brain.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. I was gonna say an oldie but goodie because I said that like earlier about something, but that does not work here, as you can see. But yeah, it's definitely a good
Very important.
chapter. Yeah, no, it's going to be an exciting one today, and it's going to go against a lot of the things that I would say is being pushed right now just within the world itself. Like whenever I'm on social media and stuff like this, a lot of the things that we're going to talk about hits on what these influencers or what doctors and stuff are prescribing for people. So I think this episode is going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's a short chapter, but it's packed with information and super duper important.
Oh, yes. But as always, before we get into that chapter, we just want to give a little bit about our week if anything interesting happens. So Kavai, please let the people know what's going on with you.
Sure. Well, yeah, so this week me and David are doing a advanced 369 cleanse, and today's actually day 5 of our cleanse. So this week I've been a little bit irritable and just really hungry all the time and having cravings like every day for cooked food and for potatoes. But the cleanse feels like something that I really need to do. Even though it's hard, like it's really hard for me to do these cleanses. Sometimes it's easier, but because I'm also during that time of the month,
Oh, it's
everything
that time
just
right now?
almost. So yeah,
Okay.
I've just have cravings for everything, and I'm already a bit irritable, so it just makes those things worse
Man,
sometimes.
yeah, that's a really difficult. I could only imagine. Like, I mean, I'm going through the cleanse right now myself too, right? And obviously, like I find things that are difficult within it, but then to have to throw on another layer of like it possibly being around the time of the month, like that just sounds like even harder now.
Yeah, but I wonder if it is actually like it's hard to stick to eating the cleanse food, but I almost believe that being on the cleanse it actually makes the symptoms less because I'm eating raw, so my body has more energy for my immune system instead of digesting cooked food. But yeah, it's difficult to not eat my whatever I want to eat during that time because
Potatoes.
eating potatoes helps me a lot. Um, and
I
I
know at this
almost
point I'm
quit.
basically like having dreams of potatoes.
Me too, literally. Like I was just talking to David and then I heard our dog barking, and it's because my new um potato waffle maker just came in the mail and I'm so excited. It's like a Cuisinart waffle maker.
Man, I can tell you right now, after day 9, I know you're probably going to be firing up that potato waffle
Oh
maker.
yeah, I will. Potato waffle maker, yes.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
if you like, it's a waffle maker, but now it's a potato waffle maker.
Yeah, because I don't know, I won't really be making any other types of waffles in it,
You know,
you know?
someone should really come out with a potato maker, like, like a potato waffle maker, but it specifically be made for potatoes because okay, it sounds funny, but I know everyone has this problem out there. When you make the potato waffle, like, I can't even say waffle, like, okay, actually, I said it right there, but I've been struggling. When you make the potato waffle, it doesn't come out right until like a couple tries in. Like, every time I start the potato waffle thing, like I fill it up, I close the maker, and then I open it up, and there's no potato waffle. It's just literally crumbles of potatoes all over the place, and they're not even like cooked, like hard. It's just mashed. Like, and so like usually at that point, I get mad, I get frustrated, and I just stop trying to make potato waffles, and I just eat the potatoes.
I've had the same experience, and I have found something that works. You just have to wait until the waffle maker is really hot, and then you want to make sure you put enough in there, and don't open the waffle maker until it's like fully cooked
You see, I don't know.
or like
I feel like I'm doing what you're saying, like, perfectly. Like,
but
I
you have to
feel like
heat up as well. Put the heat up all the way.
I mean, I just have to wait till the light turns green, and that tells me that to go. Like, it's as hot as it's gonna ever be. And so then I put the potato waffle on there, and it doesn't come out. The last 2 times I tried to make it, I failed miserably, and then after, like, the first couple tries, I stopped because I'm just wasting potatoes at this point, and I wanna eat them. So, I just didn't make them. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
definitely have to.
I say
Especially if
we
someone
need
is scratched.
I'm sorry, we didn't hear anything of what you just said.
I said that that's definitely happened to me a bunch of times when I had bought the medical medium one that he recommended, like the heart-shaped waffle maker,
Yeah.
and that thing made waffles pretty good for the first, like, few weeks, and then it got a little bit scratched, and then it would kind of come apart like that,
Damn,
unless
you
I waited
see?
a really long time, and it was like toast.
Okay, you see, that's where it's just like it's not even fun. That's why we need a waffle maker specifically. So a potato maker, the potato
We
waffle
do.
maker. Then that's what we need. If anyone in the community can get this message out there and maybe spread the message, maybe someone will make a potato waffle maker.
I would buy it for sure, yeah. To
Same.
everybody listening, we need a potato maker.
Yep. Okay.
You'll be our
Cool.
hero. You'll be our potato hero.
You
We'll love
can
you forever.
be our hero, baby. Have you heard
But
that
yeah,
song?
no. What?
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna sing it?
Oh no, no, that was pretty much it. I didn't say it right either. I said "our" instead of like "my," but there's two of us, so it's all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know the song
I need
anyway.
a hero. What about that song?
I don't know that song either.
What? Okay, guys, if you're listening to this and if you know that song that I just sang about I need a hero, like you have to know it. I mean, obviously my voice isn't that good, but I think I hit it right on the money right there. If you guys know that song, can you go to our Instagram and comment that song on one of our posts, like the title of that song, just so that we know that there's people that know that song? Because I think it's like kind of it's hurting me that Kawai doesn't know the song because I feel like it's so popular.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
It's
don't know a
okay.
lot of songs, but maybe if I heard the whole song, then I'd be like, "Oh, I kinda recognize that." But I don't
I
know well.
honestly, yeah,
But
I
yeah, if
only know
I heard
that part of the
some of
song.
it.
Damn, we keep talking over each other. We got to really stop that. I got to control my voice. It's the
I'm
cleanse.
sorry.
It's making me talk so much. Anything else
But
happen for you this week?
well, yeah, I'm really glad to be on this cleanse. The first few days were really hard, and I considered giving up on you. I almost gave up on you a few times because it was Mother's Day, and then I had to make food for
I
my mom.
I knew it. When you messaged me that day one, it was like day one you messaged me something and I can't remember what it was, but it was something that made me question a little bit like this girl is going to back out. Like she wants to back out right now. I already like I don't need any other context or words. Like you didn't say I want to back out. It was just something that you said and maybe you said like I'm not feeling the best or something. I don't know. But right away I was like, "Ah, you're going to back out." But I didn't say anything. I didn't even like ask. I just responded to what you said, I think, and I just left it at that. And I was just like, if she's going to tell me, I'm not putting any pressure. Like, this is your decision, because I was going to go through with it. Like, I was already, by the time you woke up to start your day one, I had already finished day one. I was in too deep. There was no way I was turning back.
I texted you, I feel terrible. I woke up in the morning and I had the worst cravings. I just wanted to eat like other things, and then I had the plan with my mom and my family where I was making them spring rolls on like the day after. And I was like, "Oh, I really wanted to give up." I texted you that because I was considering giving up, and then I was like, "No, I have to do this. I have to do it. Just stick with it." And I did, and then on the Sunday when for Mother's Day, um, like my sister and her partner didn't eat anything, and like so I didn't feel bad for not eating, or I ate my spinach soup, but yeah, I'm so glad I'm still doing it.
Me too. I felt like too if I would have asked you like, are you thinking about not doing it? Even though you hadn't said anything of that nature, like I felt like that would have made it like more easy more easier. It would have made it easier for you to quit or like to I don't want to say quit because that's not a good term, but just like decide not to do it. Um so that's also why I didn't mention anything because I just kind of felt like this is something that she has to decide. And like, it's hard to decide if you're going to do it or not. Like you're the only one who knows how you're feeling, the cravings hit and everything like that, and also all the family and stuff and you were making food for them. And so like that's something that I kind of realized like that's something that she needs to like kind of come to the decision herself. So I didn't want to bring up anything until you said something. But I'm glad that you ended up sticking with it. Like you're already halfway there.
Yeah, I'm also glad. And like I feel a big part of the reason that helped me to stay doing it was because I didn't want to disappoint you. I didn't want to abandon you because it was my idea to do it.
I, that is so funny. So if it makes you feel any better, 2 days before that or a day before that, I felt really sick. And I was telling Audrey, and if you don't know who Audrey is another person in the MM community. She's pretty popular, I would say. So you guys probably are follow her on Instagram or whatever. But I was talking to her and I told her I wasn't feeling well and she's all like, yeah, you should just like rest and, recover. And I was like, I can't. I got to go to the grocery store and I got to prepare for this 369. I start tomorrow. And she's all like, maybe you can like put it off or something. Or maybe she said that, maybe she didn't. But I know what I did say after that was like, I have to do this because I committed to Kawai. She said she wanted to do this for her birthday and she wanted someone to do it with. So I have to commit because I cannot back out because we're doing this and she wants to do it for her birthday. She wanted support. And Audrey's like, okay, yeah. Well, and also like I knew it was gonna like be the best thing for me, but that was like the biggest reason I was like, I can't quit. Like there's no way I can look back now.
That's so good. Like this is why doing it with somebody else is so much better because we both keep each other like in it. Because if it was just me by myself, I would have probably quit. So yeah, thanks for doing it with me. It definitely helps to have somebody else to do it with. But yeah, anyways, enough about me. How was your week?
My week has been pretty good. I made that man, guys. If you guys didn't see that reel I did called the stomach ache attack or something like that, like go check it out. I mean, I put a lot of creativity in that, and I think I'm really excited about that because I think it's the first time I made a reel in that type of format where I felt like it was more of like a movie or like a video production with like a storyline and everything versus me kind of just talking about the brain shot. I felt like it was a different way to present medical medium information and it was so fun. Like the amount of creativity and stuff I could put into it was so fun, and because I've been healing so much and all the celery juice and celery force and my brain's been feeling better, like I feel like my creativity has opened up a lot more. And I think like for the future I want to try and create more content like that.
I think that you could be an actor. And that was your best reel yet. So, guys, if you haven't watched it, please go check it out. It's so good. Watch the whole thing because you have to watch the end. The end is the best.
Yeah, or like the middle part of it, like when it turns black and white. That's definitely the best. I wish I would have gotten to that part sooner. It's a learning process. And I was telling Kavai this, like I feel like it didn't do too well because it didn't do too well in terms of like views and people watching it. And I feel like it's because it just wasn't as gravitating in the beginning, um, versus like towards the middle and the end. So that's something that I know I need to take note of for the future when making these things. But yeah, no, I mean it's funny that you say that because the whole week I was just telling myself, "You're an actor, David. You're an actor." And I wasn't saying I was saying I'm an actor. I'm an actor because I was like I need to get into character, like I need to get into the right mindset because like I'm gonna be something that I've never been before, and I gotta play this part. And so I just kept telling myself I'm an actor, but I mean I've never acted before, so I just did what I could do.
It was really good. I fully think it was your best reel yet. But
Thanks.
like it's amazing what celery juice and celery force can do in terms of like opening up your creativity and just making your brain work properly. Like, and you are a great example of that.
Thanks, I appreciate that, but I mean, we got to thank Celery Juice and give all the praise to them and Medical Medium and Spirit of Compassion because you're so right. It's so weird because growing up, I just always felt like I okay, this is gonna sound bad, but like I don't mean it in a bad way. Like I mean it just like that's how I viewed myself, and that's kind of how it was around me. Like if you were to ask my family and my siblings, like I was like the golden child. You know, like growing up and like even in school, like I was always like the top of my class. I was like a really good athlete. Like I like all throughout high school or like growing up to middle school, high school to even college and like wrestling D1 and going to a good school. Like that's just how I like saw myself. But then when I got really, really sick, everything that I like ability wise that I had, like from just being able to think and think creatively or think like about more like complex things or even just being able to move like physically digressed so much and to a point to where like man I couldn't even think straight. The amount of mental trouble I was having to think or just hold a conversation was just incredible. It was just like I saw the total opposite spectrum. And honestly, I'm so thankful for that because it changed my view and everything like on life and how I saw myself and also just like how I view others and also seeing like, wow, okay, not everyone sees life in this way. Like there's so many different perspectives, especially whether like at in their healing journey and where they're at in life. And so like now as I'm starting to heal and I'm starting to like reopen different areas of my brain or even physical capability that I haven't like tapped into in years, it's just it's amazing. Like I'm so grateful for it every day.
Yeah, I am too. Like it's honestly one of the most exciting things just being able to like get yourself back. And I'm so grateful to be on this cleanse right now too. Like these cleanses are giving us back our brains and our lives, years of our lives that were spent sick and suffering and feeling like we can't do anything. And also like from being sick like that, you gain a lot of is it humility or just compassion for other people? You
Hmm.
become a better person from that experience.
Oh, 100%. It's like one of these things, and a lot of people that I talk to in like the medical medium community say it too, and it sucks to say it, but it's like I wouldn't change that like I got sick because I like learned so much from it. But at the same time, like I wish I could change it and still have learned everything that I did learn. But it's like one of these like battles because like I feel like I just gained so much wisdom from being so sick. You know, I never want to go back there, but I gained so much wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. And medical medium gives us the chance to keep all of that wisdom that we gained from being sick, but also to be able to get ourselves back to where we were before we got sick so we can have the best of both worlds and
Yeah,
be healthy and strong and also have that wisdom so that we can help other people's help other people hopefully that are in the same situation.
yeah, we get the best of both worlds for sure. Speaking of best of both worlds, total side note, like that's a Hannah Montana song, you know that, right?
No, I
What?
didn't know
Oh
that.
my gosh, like you get the best of both worlds. Like no?
No, I
Okay.
don't know that at all.
My,
I don't know Hannah
so
Montana songs.
oh my gosh. So
I knew
growing
that.
up, my sisters had these toothbrushes that would play music when you brushed, and then like when the song would start to when it would end, that's as long as you had to brush, you know? And it only played one song though. And one of my sister's toothbrushes played the best of both worlds, I think. So like
Oh,
that song is just forever great ingrained in my brain. The other thing I wanted to talk about for the cleanse is like it's really making and I was talking to you before we started the cleanse about just going completely raw after this, like just doing it, you know? And the more and more I'm in it, the more and more I'm just like, I think I'm just going to go completely raw and maybe not just go completely raw, just start another round of the 369 and just keep doing it for as many times as I can. And it's like,
wait, for real?
it,
You're gonna do another 369?
I mean, I don't know. But it's like
I'll
one
be
of these,
with you.
it's
Let's
like
do
one
it.
of these, it's like one of these things though, where I'm at now where like I know I keep talking about potatoes and how like, yeah, I always think about potatoes and stuff, but at the same time, I feel like I'm at this point right now where like yeah, I kind of talk about it and like I joke around about it too. Like as you couldn't tell, sometimes I like over exaggerate things because I know like you know it's funny and things like that. But truthfully, like the way like I'm feeling towards potatoes right now, like yeah, I would like potato, but at the same time, like I'm not really craving it. Like I don't really need a potato. Like it's not something like it's a thought, and that's all it is. It doesn't really have as much like effect on me. And like even just craving other foods, like I am not at like craving other foods. Like I just keep eating what I'm eating, and like that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm okay with it. And so, and when it's kind of scary because when I know the last time I got into this mindset is when I finally committed like a year and a half ago to be like, okay, I'm done eating fats and like any proteins and stuff like that. Like I'm just going full in and no more salt, no gluten, no dairy, no eggs, like nothing, you know? And when I did that, like I just never looked back. And so like I'm kind of like feeling like I might be at that point where I'm ready to make that transition. I don't know. We'll see. But it's just something that yeah, it's been coming up more and more the more I'm doing on the cleanse.
That's really amazing. I think if you decide to go raw, that'll be an amazing step in your healing journey. That's where I would like to be eventually. Like, that's my goal. But I like this cleanse, especially. I've had so many cravings that I've had to almost double every single recipe that I eat so that I can just stay on this cleanse because I am so hungry all the time. And I want to do another 369, another advanced right after this one. That would be super good because it's one of those birthdays that's a multiple of 3 where medical medium says that you cleanse extra during a birthday that's a multiple of 3 um, when you're doing a 369 cleanse. So I really want to do 2 of them this month because my birthday is on the 26th. But I do really want to make some potato waffles, probably after the second cleanse or in between, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And I was thinking like, okay, maybe just like one day after the cleanse, just eat a bunch of potatoes and then go back into it. And then the other thing I was thinking though is like in a couple days, like after I finish the 369, this first one, in a couple days, like I go to the dentist and I get the fillings and the crown and stuff. And I was like, man, that's gonna be a tough one. Like it would be hard to go without potatoes for that because it's just such a comforting food, you know.
Mhm.
And so I was like, maybe I should wait for that. But then I just thought to myself, there's really no point. If I'm gonna do it, I might as well just like go with it. And like, I don't know, like I'm just kind of like thinking, I'm already in so deep. I might as well just keep going with the 369s.
Well, let me know what would you just want to go jump right into another one? Because I can
What,
do
what,
that. I
what,
think
what,
I can
what,
do
what, what?
that. What?
You sound like a DJ right there. But what were you actually saying?
Okay, so I was saying, what do you want to do? We should make a plan. Are we gonna just jump right into another 369, or are we gonna do one day in between?
If I'm going into a next 369, I'm not doing one day in between. I'm just hopping right in, sister. Like I'm just like,
Okay,
going
so
full
we're
blast.
gonna do it. Let's do it. I'm
Okay.
down.
The other thing I was thinking you could do if you were so like not worried, but you want to do the potato waffle, if you wanted to, like I wouldn't, but you could like do where you just start at day 7 again and
David, you
do.
know, because we're gonna finish on my Sunday, I'm not gonna be able to start until Tuesday because I only have Wednesday off for me to do a day 9.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, well, I was just saying like if you wanted to do that because the potato, like you can have the potato waffle when your birthday hits.
Cause wait,
Because right now, if you did a second one, like when your birthday comes around, like you will not be able to eat the potatoes from the potato waffle because you will be in the middle of the 369.
that's alright. I think I can just do it after my birthday.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, then
But
are we
I would
agreeing
have
right
to,
now to do a second 369 in a
yes,
row? Like that's the final
but
decision? Okay.
but I would have to start on the 21st, and that would be your 20th,
Oh, I'm go
or
I'm
it would be
sorry.
your
I got to go I just got to keep going right through. Like I just got to.
Okay, well, we're not gonna be on the same day then, but that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean at this point like I'm just thinking like I can survive a day 9 not being like on the weekend or like on a day that I am like I can survive it on a day that I'm working. Like I just thought to myself, okay, Tex 369 does it all the time. Like if he like just meal preps all the juices and stuff, I would assume he has to. Like I mean, if he's done that many in a year, there's no way he doesn't work that. Like he's only he did like the whole year once, pretty much. So there's no way
I
he
guess
didn't work that whole year.
I could just do it and do day 9 at work. And try that.
That's I'm like just meal prep. What I'm thinking too for this day 9, instead of like making all those options, like I'm just gonna make the cucumber apple juice and the celery juice, which is mandatory, and then I'm just gonna do watermelon for all the other ones.
That's what I normally do.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna make it as super easy, and just go with that, so that I don't run into any issues.
Definitely. That sounds like okay, we've made an agreement. We're gonna do a second one. This is
Okay,
exciting. Awesome.
yeah.
Well, did anything else happen for you this week that was interesting before we get into the chapter?
No, that was pretty much it.
Cool beans. I have to use the bathroom.
Okay, cool beans. I should probably go too. I was just thinking, like, watch me wake up tomorrow and wake up with like the most cravings ever.
Yeah. You're like, I don't get any cravings on this
Yeah,
cleanse.
I
Yeah.
know.
No,
And then tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, just be like having dreams about potatoes. Then you know I'm screwed.
might happen.
Possibly. You know what I just thought of right now? If they didn't put viruses in our eggs, if I went like fat free, for example, I still wouldn't be able to eat eggs. I would still have eliminated them from my diet because they're pretty high in fat.
Yeah. I mean, there's more than one reason not to eat eggs because ultimately, like, fat is so acidic for our body. You kind of just don't want to eat any fat at all, really, if you're trying to heal anything.
Yeah, why? Is it because fats are acid and your acid brain? Sorry, that was a really bad transition. I tried so hard, okay? I really did. But guys, that was
Yes,
supposed to be
yeah.
a transition into now talking about the chapter 9, your acid brain, everybody. Right off the back, I'm going to take it away with just how medical medium starts off the chapter. He talks about how like alternative medicine talks about or says that disease is caused by acidity. That's how alternative medicine explains chronic symptoms and conditions. He also gives like a couple other reasons that they say, but the main thing that they say is that acidity causes diseases. And because of this, they say, hey, you want to avoid processed food, sugar, fast food, fried food, because these are the things that are responsible for disease. That's what they say. And so they're saying stay away from that. But then they're saying, to not be acidic and to avoid acidity, you want to eat healthy whole food and lots of healthy fats. And when I read this, I like everything clicked because everything that I see from social influencers on Instagram, TikTok, like whatever it is, everyone's promoting whole foods. Like I literally like see videos where people say, "Watch me eat nothing but whole foods and healthy fats." Like or watch me eat whole foods and stay away from processed sugar, fast food. Like they will literally say those exact words. And it's like everyone and it's so funny because they all think like, "Hey, everyone like the like these this is what the medical industry doesn't want to know. Doesn't want you to know." They don't want you to know that you need to eat lots of healthy fats and whole foods to get healthy and not be sick. And it's like, what are you saying? That's exactly the narrative that they want you to push because that's gonna, although, and I just want to say this, like, fats don't necessarily cause disease. Like, they can, like, make it so you can get weaker and have more acid and that causes problems in the long run that we'll get into shortly. But what really causes disease is viruses and stuff like that. That's what causes sicknesses at the end of the day. But this stuff right here about like eating lots of fats and stuff like that, like this is what's going to produce the acidity that alternative medicine saying that you need to stay away from.
Right, exactly. And that acidic environment is ideal for pathogens to thrive. So, like, even though fat and all the other things that cause acidity in the body is a scary concept to think about of like everyone having it, it's not that that's causing all of the disease, it's the pathogens. So but fat, like the one of the best steps to making sure that you don't get sick is to avoid eating so much fat, because fat itself is one of the main causes for an acidic body, because triglycerides in fat are acidic, and the pH of fat actually lowers when it enters into our bodies. And like
Yeah, and
literally just the term fatty acid, like that pretty much says it all.
yeah, and like you got to remember too, like the consistency of fats is like an illusion because like they're so smooth and silky on the tongue and they don't like burn your tongue. So people think like, "Oh, these aren't really acidic." But nope, you're wrong. And Kawai just explained like literally they're like how they're made up literally tells you like, "Hey, this is an acid," you know?
Yeah. And even like when you're eating fat as well, like it just feels like it's easy to digest because it just feels easy going down. Well, for me, anyways, it doesn't feel easy to digest. Like when I eat fats, I feel like it takes ages to digest it. But you know what we're saying? We're saying it seems like it's not acidic when you eat it.
Yeah, and you remember that live medical medium did where he has the like he gets a bunch of oils and he puts it in a jar and then he puts like I want to say maybe it's like a piece of chocolate or something in it. I don't know. He puts something in it and if like the fat like he puts it in there and it should float on the fat if it wasn't acidic. Is that correct? But instead it just sinks right in.
I don't remember that video.
Oh, okay. Like man, it was something like that where if like he's just showing like hey these fats are acidic and like you can look at it because like when you put damn actually I can't remember or maybe it's the other way around like ah just forget that point maybe it's oh he gets water and he puts fat in the water and if
Yes,
the
that's
fat
it.
yes, okay. Oh, okay. We could yeah. So he gets water and he has a cup of water and he puts like different fats in it from like nuts to even like thicker fats like coconut oil or whatever. And if the fat wasn't acidic, it's acidic, right? Like that's what
Yeah.
he's like if it wasn't acidic, then that oil or that fat would float on top of the surface. But it doesn't. It sinks right into the bottom.
Well, oil does float to the surface.
Oh, it does? Oh, so
Yeah.
then oh fuck, okay. It's then what did I watch? I'm currently editing the podcast and I wanted to make sure that I got you guys the correct information for what's going on in this scene. And so medical medium, I looked it up, does do a live where he puts fats in water and then he shows that the fats sink to the bottom. Now when he does this, he's referring to poop. And he's saying that unhealthy poop will float to the bottom because it will have undigested fats and proteins in it. So that's why he's showing that example. Now, oils and butter and things like that, on the other hand, do float to the surface when you put it in water. But medical medium does make it clear that that will still float to the bottom. Like in your stool will still float to the bottom if you're eating butter and oils and stuff like that. Like that is a fat and your stool will still sink to the bottom. Now, in terms of this whole idea that I brought up in the podcast, like fitting in with what we're talking about, it really doesn't because we were kind of talking about how fats are acidic. But as you can see from this scene in itself, I was so lost and confused when I was using this example. So definitely give me a break there. But I want to make sure that I got you guys the correct information. So yeah, let's get back into the podcast.
Fats also trap toxins, and the trapped toxins also make for a more acidic environment, and it also makes it harder for us to detox the toxins when they're trapped in fat. And fats push water out of the bloodstream, making it even harder to flush anything out.
Yeah, and so that's also going to make you chronically dehydrated, which I mean, majority of people already are like chronically dehydrated because they're not drinking enough water throughout the day. And so you just add the added thing of fats pushing out water out of your system, which is now also creating an environment where viruses thrive and want to live. And boom, you're that's a recipe for disaster right there.
Boom. There's so many reasons not to eat fats. Because like you've got all these toxins in your body and then stuck in there from fat, and then you also have fats that thicken the blood. When you eat too much fat, it thickens the blood. And this creates the need for your body to produce harsh blends of adrenaline, which basically acts as bile but for your bloodstream. And this adrenaline is really corrosive and extremely acidic as well.
Yeah, let's not forget why it needs to produce that adrenaline too. So when the blood gets thickened, right, then from there, insulin resistance happens because the sugar cannot get into our cells because the blood is so thick now. Like imagine if something's really like thick substance, it's going to be hard to move in it. So at that point, the sugar is not able to be transported into the cells, and so the adrenaline needs to come in to thin out the blood so that the sugar can get into the cells.
And then, as David said, insulin is produced by the pancreas to help and find any glucose in your body and help to drive into cells because the fat is blocking it from getting into cells. And you need to have glucose in your brain or you will die. So, insulin is produced in large quantities to help and drive that glucose into the brain and into the cells. And insulin is also a really acidic chemical.
Yes. So guys, just realize it's either glucose or death here. There's no in between, okay? As Kawai said, you will die.
Glucose or death. That's straight.
All right. Obviously, we're
Will
kidding a little,
die.
but we're not kidding in terms of your brain does run on glucose. Your brain needs it to survive. If your brain's not getting glucose in a matter of seconds, yes, your brain is going to start shutting down. And after a long period of time, I mean, you'll be brain dead. You'll be dead. So you do not want that. And I mean, that's why I get so confused that are people that are like doing keto or like the carnivore diet, how are they even functioning? Like I do see like a lot of them eat honey though, so that kind of like helps process like get some glucose. But for the most part, I'm just like, how are these people even functioning?
It's honestly a miracle how they can function and even get results from it. And then, but long term, their pancreas is going to explode.
It's just going to explode. I've never heard medical mediums say that, but is that what's gonna happen?
Well, I was, yeah, that's what happens. People's pancreas, like, they explode and then they have to have them removed. And then
Okay,
they
yeah,
have
I get what you
diabetes
mean. Yeah, I
because
get
their
what you mean.
insulin is being triggered too much and they can't like get any of the sugar from their bloodstream. And then they'll have a whole other host of problems down the road as well. But their pancreas does suffer.
Yeah, the
Like
other. Oh, go on. I was
that's
gonna
that's
switch
what,
topics, but do you want to go on?
oh no.
You were like,
Oh.
anything that could get me out of this situation right now, I'm down for. Um, so the so now that we've talked so much about, fat causing acidity and also like what's fat doing there. So you have all this acidity in your body now. To be able to buffer all this acidity, your body as like a saving mechanism removes minerals from your bone and teeth, so it releases these precious minerals to buffer all this acid that's going on in your body. And then at the end of the day, you pee out the calcium and everything that you had to remove from your teeth. You pee it out because of these acidic environments.
Yeah, it's so when you're eating fat and eating a high fat diet, as these diets claim, or as the like medical industry and whoever is saying that a high fat diet is
Who's
the
saying?
Okay. These diets that are claimed to be the answer to lowering acidity in your body and, being having health and wellness are actually causing you to become deficient in every mineral and vitamin that your body needs to thrive.
Yeah,
So,
don't forget too that it's like also your bones literally because of this, you're peeing all this out, literally is thinning out as the years go by.
yeah, so as you're peeing out your vitamins and minerals and calcium, your bones are becoming thinner and thinner, and you can have fractures more easily. You can, break your bones, your teeth are going to start falling out. All of these really scary things. And these diets that they promote to people for health also promote eating vinegar and caffeine, which are extremely acidic and also cause you to pee out more and more of your calcium and your vitamins and minerals. Vinegar, especially, vinegar is just pure acid.
And caffeine.
And caffeine too, yeah. But
But
there is
there's a lot of buts going on. Go on.
not all acids are bad. Fruit acids, such as the ones in lemons and other citrus fruits, are very alkaline when they enter into your bodies, and they can restore minerals into your bones and teeth.
Wait, what? They can restore. They're actually alkaline? You see, that's what everyone would say if they never heard of medical medium information and they had listened to all the influencers out there who avoid lemons and all these great things for you because they think it's acidic, but it's not.
Exactly. They'd be like, "What? Lemons destroy your enamel. You shouldn't eat lemons. You should swish your mouth with apple cider vinegar to restore your teeth and your
Oh
gut."
my gosh. Yeah, sheesh. Not to mention apple cider vinegar is just so bad for you, but it tastes terrible.
Tastes awful. Lemons
Oh my.
taste so much better.
I was thinking, do you think on the 369? Well, okay, do you think putting lemon on apples would go good?
No.
Okay, then that we'll just throw that idea out. I've been having that thought. Maybe that could be something. Okay, yeah, I wasn't thinking it either.
Apples are
Okay.
already not sweet enough. Like you could put some honey in lemon maybe.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do the honey. I wanted to just do the lemon.
You should try it and let me know if it's good because I don't think it would be good, but I don't know really.
Okay, because I was thinking, like the watermelon fries where he adds lemon to it.
Yeah, but watermelon's like a lot sweeter.
This podcast is going to be so crazy to edit.
I know
Um,
we keep taking breaks in between.
okay. But as we said earlier, the acidic the but as we said earlier, the acidic environment doesn't necessarily create chronic illness. But the true cause is viruses and bacteria. And as we've already said, the viruses thrive in acidic environment. That's like literally that's party town for them, guys. Take me to Funky Town. That's Funky Town for viruses right there, okay? And we don't want that. You don't want that. And so being on a high fat diet is just creating a world of just viruses thriving in your system. And not to mention, that also means you're going to have a lower immune system because you're going to have so many viruses. Like, I mean, it goes hand in hand, and you should have already known that, but I just want to clearly say that. Like, it's a recipe for sickness.
Yeah, and if you're eating a high fat diet as well, that means that your hydrochloric acid in your stomach that's naturally antiviral and like your hydrochloric acid's supposed to kill pathogens in your stomach, but because it's so weakened from the amount of fat that people eat, because the fat is really hard to digest and it burns out your stomach acid. So your stomach becomes a breeding ground for pathogens and bacteria and viruses. And this is why a lot of people blame the stomach for like all of their health problems.
The gut, the
The
gut
gut.
biome.
Even though it's not the gut. The gut is not the main issue. It's all of the fat that they're eating and all of everything else that they're doing. So, celery juice is amazing for restoring hydrochloric acid.
Oh yeah, no, it honestly my hydrochloric acid just a year and a half ago was pretty non-existent. And because of celery juice, it has like being able to digest things has improved so much. Not to just mention like the acid reflux, the chronic acid reflux that I was dealing with every day that made it so hard to want to live because it was just so painful, or to even want to eat because anything I ate, I felt like I was getting it, has gone away.
I also one of my main like well not one of my main symptoms, but one of my most annoying symptoms when I first started MM was I had acid reflux for years, and it was just awful. Like always felt like I had acid in my throat, just like wanting to come up. And that went away within a few months. So celery juice is a miracle for your acid reflux and for stomach issues in general.
Yeah, so guys, just to also mention here, because like, we're talking about all this acidity going on. There's tests out there, or people say there's tests out there to help you see if you're alkaline or if you're acidic. And they have like these pH tests where you can like pee and they can see from like your pee if you're alkaline or not. Medical medium says these things are not reliable. And the problem is like if you were to pee alkaline, for example, people think, oh yeah, I'm alkaline. But what medical medium is saying here is like, look, you may be peeing out all your alkaline minerals because you may be so acidic that you're just peeing out all the minerals and stuff to buffer the acidity. And then at the same time, if you pee and it shows that you're acidic, he says this could be a sign, not that you're alkaline, but on the opposite side, it could be a sign that you're so acidic that you have no alkaline minerals left. And so there is no way like to tell which one you might be from what you have. So these are just not reliable.
No, they're not reliable and not accurate at all. And there's no way to know if it's accurate.
So guys, save your money, save your time, and instead go spend that on some celery juice because that's where
Yeah,
you're
go
gonna
get
get the
some
real
celery
help.
and some wild blueberries. Get on the heavy metal detox smoothie. Get all of
And
that acidity out. And
yeah,
stop eating so much fats, you guys.
yeah, guys, stop
Save
eating
your
so much fats, or just be kind to yourself. It's a process. It is really, really hard. And so we say it with a light heart and jokingly at the same time.
I just want to say, like, I'm telling myself that as well to stop eating so much fats because I'm also trying to stop eating fat, and it is really difficult. But yeah, so just take it one step at a time and do whatever you can for yourself because everything you do, even if it's really small, it's very meaningful.
Agreed. Well, everyone, thank you so much for dropping into this podcast episode. And if you made it all the way to the end, you are a true MM breakdowner for sure. But yeah, with that being said, until next time, we are out.
Thanks for listening.